Bonjour, boys and girls. Ciao, aloha, buenos dias, and shalom. Look who I found today when I was cleaning. It's your friend, Mr. Mouse. Can you say good morning, Mr. Mouse? Bonjour, friends. I miss you. Yes, he does miss you. He's been a good little mouse. I'm having to hide him from Charlie because Charlie kind of thinks he's a toy for him. So he just wanted to say good morning to you. And what else did you want to say, Mr. Mouse? Oh, he hopes we're all back in school again pretty soon because he's very lonely and I'm very lonely and I miss you. And I hope everybody's being good and being kind and minding mommy and daddy and getting out for some fresh air every day. Right now, it looks like it's just a little bit cloudy outside and we're supposed to have some rain later. So I'm hoping that clears up. But tomorrow it could be snow, so we better appreciate the rain. I have a most beautiful story for you today. It's one of my favorites, and I was hoping to be able to read it to you this spring. It's called The Rainbow Tiger. Usually when we see tigers, they're just orange and black, but this is a very special tiger. This story was written by Gail Nordholm and illustrated by Jennifer Frowork. Let's hear The Rainbow Tiger. The Rainbow Tiger. Deep in the forests of India, there lived a beautiful tiger. Her coat was as orange as an autumn pumpkin with sleek black stripes. When she hid in the tall grass or watched from the shadows, the other animals could not see her. Because of this, she was an excellent hunter, and that made her very happy. Tigers are such beautiful animals. Silently on velvet feet, the tiger made her way through the forest each day. Listening carefully to the sounds around her, she slipped in and out of the shadows, watching for other animals. One day, the tiger stopped at the edge of a clearing to watch a peacock. His shimmering feathers danced with rainbow colors as he moved about in the sunlight. The tiger began to imagine what it would be like to wear such wonderful colors. If I had a coat of rainbow colors, she thought to herself, I'd be the most beautiful tiger ever. Lost in her thoughts, the tiger did not see the peacock leave the clearing. Finally, the sounds of the forest brought her back to her senses, and realizing she was alone, the tiger left the clearing and returned home. The long walk in the heat of the afternoon had made her sleepy. A nap sounded good. After stretching from the tip of her nose to the very last stripe on her tail, she rested her head and drifted off into dreams of rainbow colors. She does have a very long tail. It seemed as though she had barely closed her eyes when something woke her up. Her stomach was growling loudly. Why do you think her stomach's growling? Do you think maybe she's hungry? I must have slept a long time to feel so hungry, she thought. I'd better go get something to eat. Before long, she came upon a deer that was nibbling on some grass in the distance. The tiger lowered herself into the grass and moved forward carefully. Suddenly, the deer looked up. In a flash, she was gone. That deer acted like she saw me, thought the tiger. But that's impossible. I can't be seen when I hide in the grass. Something else must have frightened her away. Too hungry to give it much of a thought, the tiger moved on. After searching for some time, she heard a familiar noise. Stepping back into the shadows, she waited as a wild boar came out of the brush. He worked his way back and forth with his nose to the ground, searching for something to eat. Slowly, the tiger moved through the shadows. The boar raised his head with a sudden jerk and looked right at her. Quickly, he spun around, and with his tail up like a flag, he ran off squealing loudly. How can this be happening to me? The tiger asked. I haven't had this much trouble since I was a cub. Maybe I will have better luck down by the river. All this walking has made me very thirsty. Oh my goodness. As she stepped into the river, her reflection broke into rings of rainbow colors. Startled by the image in the water, she saw that her coat was no longer orange as an autumn pumpkin. Instead, she wore the colors of the rainbow, just as she had wished. Do you think that will make her happy? My wish has come true, she purred with delight. I'm even more beautiful than I imagined. Oh, she is beautiful. But as she stood there admiring her reflection, she remembered the deer and the boar. So that's what happened, she said to herself. They could see me when I was hiding. Well, I'll show them. I'll just be even faster and smarter than before. And so the tiger leaped back up the riverbank and into the forest with renewed determination. Slowing her pace to a walk, she could hear the monkeys in the trees above her. They were chattering about something, but she was too hungry to notice. Just then, a light wind blew toward her, carrying the scent of animals nearby. Lowering herself to the ground, she prepared to spring on anything she could find. Look at those monkeys up in the tree. Suddenly, the forest broke out in laughter. The monkeys had spread the news about a rainbow tiger down by the river. One by one, the animals stepped forward to see her. The peacock laughed the loudest. A tiger with rainbow colors? How ridiculous. It's not nice of them to make fun of her, is it? Now that we can see her coming, we don't have to be afraid anymore, the deer snickered with delight. Embarrassed and sad, the tiger turned away, leaving the laughter behind her. Being a rainbow color isn't so wonderful after all, she said. I wish I were orange and black again. Slowly, she made her way back home. It had been a very long day, and she was exhausted. What am I going to do? She asked herself, and she rested in the shade. And before she could think any more about it, she fell into a deep sleep. Not even the growling of her stomach could wake her. When she opened her eyes again, it was morning. Little by little, the memories returned, filling her with sadness and regret. Maybe a bath in the cool river will help, she thought. Then I'll decide what to do. As she walked back to the river, the forest was quiet. The animals probably saw me coming and ran away, she said, feeling sorry for herself. Stepping down into the water, she looked at her reflection once again. Her eyes widened in disbelief. This time, a beautiful orange tiger with sleek black stripes looked back at her. Where did the rainbow colors go? Have I just been dreaming? What do you think? Do you think it was a dream? Well, to this day, she is still not sure if it was real or just a dream. But she will tell you this: never wish to be different than you are, because you will never be happier than just being yourself. The end. Has that ever happened to you where you thought you wanted something and then when you got it, it just wasn't quite what you thought it should be? I have to say that's happened to me a few times. And then on this page, there's some wonderful facts about tigers. Tigers are the largest of big cats. A large tiger can weigh almost 1,800 pounds. They can run fast and for long distances. That gives them the ability to catch large animals such as antelope, deer, wild pigs, and sometimes even young elephants. Most tigers are active at night and do a lot of their hunting in the dark. You can tell tigers apart by looking at the stripes on their face and body. Just like your fingerprints, they are unique. No two tigers have the same pattern of stripes. Today, there's only about 5,000 to 7,000 wild tigers in Asia. There are only 5 remaining subspecies. The Indo-Chinese tiger extends almost across Southeast Asia, and the Sumatran tiger is restricted to the Indonesian island of Sumatra, and the Bengal is found primarily in India. A tiger is a strong and resilient animal, but like all endangered animals, its habitat and food sources must be protected if it is to survive. To find out more about wildlife conservation, check for local or national agencies near you. Well, that is one of my very favorite stories. I really love tigers, and I hope they don't stay endangered forever. So that's my story for right now, and I'm going to tell you goodbye. I will be going out tomorrow and working on your packets for next week. I certainly do hope that you guys all have a great weekend. While I'm out at school, I will try to do a little recording of the calendar and maybe read another story out there. And it'll be Friday, so who knows? I might even put on the chicken dance. See you later, alligators. After a while, crocodiles. In an hour, sunflower. Maybe two, kangaroo. Gotta swish, jellyfish. Better run, skeleton. Take care, polar bear. Our time today is at an end. Now I say goodbye to all my friends. Bye-bye.